Yo, Star Creators Africa.
Pack. I like
Reality check. Check it. What you don't know, tell. What you don't hear, we spread.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Reality Check. Today we have on set today the creative lead of one of the biggest wedding companies in Ghana, JEMA Photography. So JEMA, tell us something about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Kwekuda Kojima, and I'm the lead photographer and creative at JEMA Studios. It's a wedding and lifestyle photography company. So we do weddings basically, and then portrait sessions, lifestyle. Yeah, so that's where I am, and then this is me.
I'm actually very curious. At what stage did you decide to become a photographer, and what inspired your creative journey?
So I started photography, I think 21. I was back in school in the uni, Legon, to be precise. Yeah. So I started basically with my phone, taking pictures with my phone, and people, were excited about the results and the outcome. So I took it personal, and then I started, doing photography. But then I was in school, so yes, it was just back and forth with my phone, and gradually I was able to get myself a camera. And so that was when everything started for me. I remember when I started, I used to do, portraits and abstract photography. So just take pictures of anything and just everything I see. And as time went on, I gradually found myself in the wedding space, shooting weddings and documenting love stories, especially in Ghana, yes, as at that time. So, but then one thing led to the other, and after school, I decided to do it full time. But then, my family was like, we took you to school. I studied economics in the University of Ghana. And everyone was like, once you are done with the cons, probably I was even doing ACC and all those things. So accountants, let's do it. But then I chose photography, and then it was a challenge because everyone was like, why photography? So I needed to, push and prove everyone wrong that yes, photography is something that is viable, something that is good, and I can do it full time to the best of my ability. So I think that's how it started for me, basically.
Would you say wedding photography is an easy job? Is it all about just capturing the beautiful moment?
Wedding photography, I think it's not an easy job. It's quite absorbing. That is how come I feel a lot of people, shun away from it after they sort of like progress in their career as photographers. Basically, it's easy to come by a wedding job because people are getting married every day and people are falling in love every day. So it's easy to come by that job. But then once you start, getting yourself into it, you realize that it involves a lot. Or there are a lot of emotions already involved with, the couples and the people that you are working with. And so you have to deal with their anxiety, their pressures and all those things aside, taking the pictures. And it's not just taking the pictures. Now more than ever, I feel photography has taken a leap, and people are not just looking for nice pictures. They are looking for pictures that have a voice, pictures that can speak. The best way we say a picture of 1,000 words. So yes, people are looking for that, and to come by that is not just taking nice pictures. It's more about the technique. It's more about the lighting. It's more about the various elements that you are using to create the images that you are creating. It's more about the perspective and all those things. So that once the picture is there, they look at the pictures and they are teary. They look at the pictures and it sends their minds back to that very day and all the emotions. So it's past just having clear, nice pictures. There's a lot of creativity that goes into wedding photography, especially the space now. So yeah, it's not an easy journey. I don't know if you want me to describe like the entire workflow, but then okay, so probably like onboarding like a client, yes. Once you start to engage the client, there's a whole sales and finance part of it where you guys will be talking about what package you want. You have to go back and forth with them, ensure that whatever that they are envisioning is what they are getting in terms of the scope of your work that you're going to do. Once that is done and you guys agree on the package, little details, I want 2 photographers, I want this, you need that, we then move to the creative stage where we sit down with you, sort of like create a mood board for you, and then get to know exactly the vision that you have for the day and be able to plan it with the production team as to how to achieve those results, those very results that the client is looking for. And that how this creative space is. Once we sit at the creative meeting, we are having 2 to 3 hours conversations about the wedding, timelines, what locations, wardrobe, all those things. We are discussing thoroughly as to how we can be able to bring that vision into a reality. Moving from there, then you go to, let's say, the actual production. You have to do, talk to the production team, videography, photography, all those things. So it's quite involving. And you can see that it's not just one person. Like, a lot of people are involved in the entire journey. After that, we have the set date, and then we go ahead to do the shoot, and we create the magic, enjoy the wedding, the music, the dance, the party, everything, all the moments that they've always been dreaming of. And then you come back to sit down, and we have a whole post-production process where the pictures are backed up, the pictures are edited, retouched, all those things. And then the final delivery, we do quality assurance, ensure that everything is done before the client even receives the picture. So it's a whole process. It's not just say take the picture and then give me my pictures. Yes, it's an entire journey. And I mean, as we go over this thing over and over and over again, you begin to appreciate the entire process. So that I think is more involved in this.
I believe that other photographers watching actually have this popular question on their minds. There's always this kind of argument. You need a better camera to take good or quality pictures. So I'm really sure that they want to hear from you. They want to settle this for us, wasn't for
Okay. I think that, as I said early on, I think photography or nice pictures, the photography journey has passed just taking nice pictures. It has to do with what is this picture saying? What's the voice behind the picture? So if it's just nice pictures, then you need a good camera probably. But then if it's about the picture being able to speak to our souls and our hearts, then it's way more than that. As I did mention, the various elements that you need to capture. I mean, it's vast. The subjects, ambience, color, lighting, all those things, creative direction, pose, all those things play a very vital role in creating, these beautiful images that we see. But then, I mean, it goes beyond just having a good gear. Yes, so.
All right. So you mentioned that when you began your photography journey, you started with a phone.
Weird.
Okay. So was it a compromise on your photography ability when you were starting out? So it's okay, let me just try and make mistakes. And do you think it's necessary to have a professional camera before you begin photography?
Okay. So I like your question though. Yeah. You were asking, was it a compromise on my photography ability? But then at that stage was the beginning stage for me. And that is where, growth comes in, and it makes everything look very beautiful, because you start very small with nothing and even knowing nothing. But then as time goes on, as you embrace the learning curve, you begin to learn, you begin to know more, your skill improves, as well as the means, as in the opportunity to, get even money to, buy those fancy gear. So it all comes together to make the journey very beautiful. So I think what exposed my passion for photography was the phone. It was a Samsung Note 3 as at that time, yes. And I used to take pictures and people were like, wow, this is nice. Are you sure it's a phone? And then I'll do the editing on the phone using PixArt. So the PixArt lover, so I used to do all these things and people enjoyed it. So I felt that was a stepping stone. Even being able to come, like getting my first camera was a hurdle, because I thought once I get the camera, that's the end. Not knowing once I got the camera, I needed a memory card, I needed a flash, I needed a trigger, all those things. I'm like, so that is not it, And after the first camera, that was a T3i, gradually, I started getting jobs. So you save up, and then I got a 60D as well. And then from there, after 2 years, I got a 6D, a Canon 6D. So then the journey was from 6D, I went to Mark III, from Mark III to Mark IV, from Mark IV to EOS R, from EOS R to R6, all those things. So it's been a very gradual journey, and it's the same with even the knowledge, because when I started, I didn't know what's lighting, I didn't know what rim lights, all those new technicalities, rim lights, Rembrandts, all those things. I didn't know about it, but then learning, being exposed to the whole experience, you soaking everything in, learning and improving, it's a gradual thing. So I found myself knowing a lot and having good gear. It just went all at the same time. And I think that is the beauty of growth. That's the beauty of learning. So yes, so I think we should be able to embrace that journey more than, but the dynamics has changed. Now people tend to, invest in other people, say, I'll get you a camera. But then you realize that, the skill is not there. And so they have very good gears, very good cameras, but they cannot take, beautiful pictures. Yeah. So it becomes like, what is this? Is it the camera or the person? Yeah. And then also there are people, the reviewers, they have very in-depth knowledge about the photography, and they do understand their lighting and all those things, but then they do not have the gear to, support their creativity. And you can find yourself in any of those two things. But then for me personally, the journey was, everything at the same time. We're just growing, and I think that is the beauty of growth. That's the beauty of learning. But then if you find yourself in any of those two, all the two is like very important, because you can have the creative mind, you can have the skill, you can know more about photography and not have the gear, and that will sort of like put you at a particular level. Having the two is a master piece. Like, it's just bias.
Let's take this scenario for instance.
Okay.
In fact, I don't even think I have a very serious problem with cars. I find myself in the creative industry right now, and then I'm surrounded by a lot of creatives. So like I go home one day and then I'm like, Mom, Dad, meet my boyfriend, she's a photographer. Then everyone just goes like, what does he do? He's a photographer. I mean, I'm pretty sure you are living proof of the fact that I'm really sure that you make billions and billions. So how do I convince my parents that, like photography actually puts food on the table?
This just took me back to a statement my mom made. And see, yesterday back manager also better for me traffic, that kind of thing. I feel like now it's becoming like people are understanding the work and then the craft, but then initially it wasn't as that, and they saw photography in a particular way. Even the photographers themselves, I think, saw it in a way that they keep making statements like, this thing is a part-time job, you cannot do a full-time job, and it goes a long way to tell me that they don't even believe in the gift they have and the tool they have at hand. I didn't mention gift because I see photography, for instance, to be a gift more than anything else. I see it also as a tool. So when I say a gift, it's like something that has been given to you, make the best use of it, or make the best out of this creativity or out of this gift that you've been given. And then as a tool for impact, as a tool to create images, as a tool to advocate change and all those things. So it goes way beyond that. And then finally, as the means, like how you are talking about, how can I convince them that this thing works? And now more than ever, I feel photography is like the new crypto, because every conversation, just look around, every conversation you hear, just random conversation, maybe at a restaurant, or you just 2-3 minutes, you hear a picture. 2-3 minutes, you hear a picture. I'm like, this thing is very popular. And like the world is moving into this digital global space where everyone needs a picture to represent them online, to represent their businesses on billboards, to represent their memories on their walls and all those things. And it's made the value of photography go way higher. And I mean, Instagram, Facebook, all those things, it's pictures, it's text, your creative mind, everything. So it's very valuable. And once you begin to value whatever that you are doing, it goes with it. You will eventually call the value to yourself. But then most people will not say want to start small, grow, and you see yourself in a place where your value is attracting people to you. So yeah, I don't know if I've been able to answer your question, but then yes, I think that's it.
So let's say you were not a photographer and then I came to you. Would you consider wedding photography a worthy investment? Because to someone out there, probably, it's just one day and then I'm going to spend billions and billions of money, like
Billions. Yes, I will invest. Why is that? Because I feel like although it's one day, these are your memories, okay? These are your memories, and it is once in a lifetime. It's once in a lifetime. And so investing in those memories, I give this scenario. So say you hired me for your wedding, okay? And then I did show up. I took all the pictures. You paid me probably, let's say, 10,000 CDs for the pictures, and I did everything. I shot the pictures and everything. When I went home, unfortunately for me, let's say someone broke into my house and stole my laptop, so I lost all your files. I'm very sorry for this. Please, can I refund the money for you and make up for whatever? Exactly. They are like, I'm not having that. I'm like, I'm paying you back your 10,000 C's. Says, though, I think if you have to compensate me, it has to be more than that. I'm like, oh, so that means that the value, so that makes it invaluable. Okay, so we actually cannot place a premium on what I'm giving to you, the photographs that I'm giving to you. And so you should know that whatever that you are giving to me is like just a compensation or a token of appreciation for my time, spending my time with you. And that is how I will usually sell, pictures, like wedding pictures to clients. Does that like...
Yeah, that answers my question. So when I want to talk about the process of photography, do you believe that you can actually make some changes later in Photoshop, implying that everything can be photoshopped later? Or you actually think that you can get you need to like get all the shots right there and then make everything perfect?
I mean, it goes both ways. The old school people don't believe in that. They say you need to get it right in camera. Yes, you have to get it right in camera. It goes a long way to show your level of comprehension in the field that you are and your level of expertise. So yes, it does. But then there are issues where we can it's easier to solve with Photoshop than to actually maybe get in camera. I mean, it's not always like that. It's sometimes very simple to get the thing in camera, but then say you want a particular mood or effects, and probably Photoshop will be your best bet due to physical limitations within the whole shooting. I think you can go to Photoshop for that. But then, I mean, I know where the issue is the deception, is the we overusing the Photoshop. But then I feel like there's abuse everywhere. Everything good comes with some level of abuse. I mean, there are people who are abusing food, there are people who are abusing drinks, there are people who are abusing money and all those things. So abuse comes, but then finding a middle ground, something that works for me personally. I try as much as possible to make my pictures look as natural as possible, even if it's touched. I don't want people to believe it's touched. It should be debatable. So, but then other people will go extreme, put things that are not there and all those things. But then that is to their creativity and whatever idea they had in mind. They are trying as much as possible to bring it out more vividly. But then, yes, there's abuse everywhere. It's just as if saying that, food is, we are abusing food, so let's stop using food. That doesn't work. So, yeah, I think there's a balance there.
So, what would you say to people that actually believe that friends and family can do the job that they are hiring, like photographers? I'm really like, actually, my mom does it sometimes. You have a 14, like, why do we have to invest in this?
Why do you? Well, I think that is where photographers' value comes, because it's not just about nice pictures. As I said, it's not just about taking very clear pictures or whatever.
But do you think the phone can replace the camera?
The phone can never replace the camera, just as no football can replace the basketball. You understand? And for us, we see it as a tool, not the end. It's just something that helps us to achieve whatever that we want to create. And that goes a long way to, make our work stand out, because we are not just taking pictures. We are creating these moments. Some of the things you see, some of the pictures that you see, we actually try as much as possible to direct for it to happen that way. We actually will plan. If let's say it's taking pictures, do you understand lighting? Do you understand, editing? Do you understand color grading? Do you understand all these technicalities it comes with? Do you understand do you know what perspective is? So that is what will sell you. Because, for instance, what sells pictures for me is uncommon perspective. That, I didn't see it this way. I never saw it this way. This angle. So they never saw it that way. But your creative mind told you that, this angle will be dope. Let's try this one. And then it worked. And it came out very unique. And the normal brain didn't envision that. So that's where photographers are. But if we should limit our photography to just taking nice pictures, everyone can take nice pictures. Everyone can take nice.
Are there certain pieces in your gear that you regret purchasing?
Of course.
Why?
Why? Because it didn't fit.
What particular equipment is that?
So, for instance, I've bought camera straps, but then I've never used them before.
Why did you buy it?
Why? You have to buy it. And sometimes it looks very cool, like when you wear the strap and all that, but it just doesn't fit my style. Already, for my physique, I'm huge and tall. And then I wear the strap and it makes me look like some robot, about to. But then it's for safety purposes. So, but then I never used it. And there are certain lenses like maybe 24-70. It's a key lens for most people, but it doesn't fit my style of photography. So I will rarely use something like that. So yeah, I think I'm a prime guy. So yeah, the photographers will understand.
Have you ever had an instance where you disappointed a client? Like, let's say they hired you for a job, photos didn't get. Tell us about that. How did you
Those journeys.
talk to us? Because it's part of the journey. As a photographer, you should expect to experience these moments. So, yeah.
Yeah, it does happen that you can disappoint your client. Not only when you say lost the pictures. I feel that's the biggest disappointment that like a photographer can do. It happened to me once. I didn't lose all the pictures, but I lost some. That was in 2015, and that was my first. How do I say? It was an instrumental wedding to my entire photography career, because that was the wedding that brought me out. People from that wedding, I got like 16 inquiries. So that was instrumental. And for the pictures for me to need some of the pictures was a big blow, because this is the reference point that clients are making for hiring you, and it's as if you are unworthy of whatever that, because I think I got robbed. This thing, they cut the net and then they used this thing. So that was how the laptop was stolen, and I lost all the pictures. At that particular wedding, I did something I've never done up to now. I shot the couple with every single guest at the wedding.
Wow.
And that took a lot of effort. It's not something that people do, but I did that, and we lost all those pictures. You see, and it's quite heartbreaking for me too as well. So that was what happened. But then aside that, clients do get disappointed, and that is because I feel it's both ways. Sometimes for us, for instance, we have grown to have a particular style of taking pictures. It doesn't fit everybody. Not everyone wants pictures where part of their body is bright and other parts look dark. For us, we call it depth, we call it contrast, we call it dramatic pictures. But to the client, they feel like, whoa, my legs are dark and my face is bright. So you see how it plays? So it won't happen. They won't be happy. And I feel like it's communication. And on the part of the client, they never really did their research to see that. So I'll just ask you, can you go through the pictures again? Probably the one you saw on Instagram. Verify if this is not how we take it away. So, oh, I actually saw that this is how you do your photography. But then I think I didn't do my research well. Okay, so how best can I also help? And then you go into, sort of try. But then I feel like once the client is put off, there's a lot you can do. There's a 70% chance that you can fix it, and then they will come back to you again. But then for most people, don't take critics lightly. Like, your heart is broken, you are down yourself, and so it's like all this work, and they think that probably you didn't put in the work, but probably you spent 2-3 hours retouching those images, only for you to say that it's like, my legs are dark. That's like heartbreaking. So yes, you do disappoint clients to a certain level. I've told you some true stories.
Okay, so there's one more thing, and that is the pressure that clients give to our photographers. After a job, maybe you shoot an event or something. I feel like for most people, I don't know if it's because they don't know what goes into post-production. So it's like, right after, please, I want my pictures, or I want this, I want that. Can you talk a little about that and the pressure that they put on you, and explain to them that, please, like, there are things that need to be done. You can't expect to have your pictures like immediately after the event, that kind of thing. Because I went for this gig at this place with this prominent company, and right after the event, they sat the videographer down. They were like, what's our video before we go? So please give us the video right now before you go. So can you talk about that? Have you experienced that?
Yes, I have experienced that. I think it's possible they can get it if they want, if they are willing to invest.
Okay.
I mean, you should be able to. For us, we believe that the clients should have what they want. And so if it means that we should get an editor on set as they are taking the pictures, people are editing to get it, they should be able to get it. But that depends on your style, that depends on your business model, your approach. But then it's a good way to sell yourself. If you really want to make your clients happy, it's a good way to sell yourself. But then there's an entire creative journey. So there's a saying that if you want it fast, it won't come cheap. Okay, you should be willing to pay for it. And if you want it cheap, it won't come good, it won't come fast. So you need to choose, so there's a bargain there that the clients needs to understand that, if I'm doing an express service, I'm putting everything down, I'm bringing editors on board to work on the pictures as we should. Like we do offer same day edit, like within our business model. But then yes, I feel like there's a journey, and if we take our time, it's like fine wine, it will get better. But then if we should rush it and you are unwilling to also support and all those things, it becomes very difficult. Yeah.
So let's say I'm starting out. This is one of my first field. Exactly. And my clients is giving me pressure and I don't know what to do. What do you have to say to me? Or what advice you have? Do you think I should probably consider getting a team? Or what if the amount I'm getting is not something that can handle a big team? Like, what should I do about it? If it's like one of my very early gigs, how do I handle it?
Okay. So I think that for you, it will be a good selling point, because that was one of the strategies that I used, and then we used to rise, because we were given the pictures very quickly, like same day, like you're getting your pictures. And those kind of pictures go far because the client is sharing it with their family. People are asking, the wedding was so beautiful, can I see pictures? And pictures are already, nice, these pictures are nice. But then after a while, the conversation changes. They go back to work, or they go for honeymoon, and family is not in the house, everyone has left, the two of them are alone. So for you to sell your answering your question, to sell your business, I think you should be able to look at a particular way of if getting a team. But then that is for you starting up, getting a team, that is difficult, absolutely. And that is something I learned on the job, and it's something I didn't know before I started photography, and I've come to appreciate so much team building and having that support that you need. It makes you, the creative, more effective in your particular role that you are playing. And before then, we never saw this coming. We never saw photography to be a team effort, like have people doing sales for you, people doing lighting, having in terms of production, people doing even social media management and content creation, copyright and all those things. But we didn't have all those things, and I feel like now we are doing it full time. We are putting in maximum effort, and so the result is changing. So part-time people cannot compete, or they cannot match up, the kind of effort and work that we are putting out. I don't know if I've deviated from your question. So yes, that's I didn't know about that, but then now more than ever, I've really come to embrace teamwork. I've really come to embrace structures and systems, and it puts you, the creative, on your toes, because I know creatives like to relax. They like to do things at their own pace, soft life, we're chilling, and the ideas are coming in. But then I asked myself this question: that wait, does Messi go on the field when he feels, or when he's in. But then there are sparks of inspirations that happen whilst he's doing what he's supposed to do, and it makes whatever that you're doing go even further. Or do doctors say that today I don't feel like saving lives, so I'll stay at home and chill and relax? They don't do that. When they have their shift, they go. When there's an opportunity to save life, they give in their all. They get this spark of idea or inspiration, like, oh, I can do this way, or take this drug and this will happen. And then it happened, and like, oh, you actually got better. Like, so it happens. So creatives should be able to find themselves, in structured things, or in things that have systems to it, routines to it. It helps build your creativity. It helps make you grow consistently. And then I know that as you keep doing what you're doing, there will be sparks of inspirations that will happen that will take your work to the next level. Because as you are taking the pictures, you just have this flash of an idea that, oh, I can actually do this. Trust me, even people, most creatives will tell you that we have a mood board, we have everything scripted, we are going by the script, but then there's this time, just this one time where you decide to, like, this idea comes out, like, let's try it, and that is the one that actually goes viral or takes off and takes your career to the next level. So it's about putting yourself in that structure, being able to consistently do what you are doing. You find yourself growing, and then as the inspirations come, they come at the right time, at the opportune time, and then takes your career and your photography journey to, the next level. We always go to weddings planning. We have mood boards. We've had discussions with clients. This is what we are doing. The robe will be flying in the air somewhere. We'll have this drone shot. And then the day happens and the robe doesn't even come on time. What do you do? And then this spark of like, oh, we just saw these vases and let's try this. Let's put everything together, take this picture, and like, oh wow, everybody loves that particular picture. So it does happen that we have. So imagine I said, I'm not in the mood to shoot a wedding, or I'm not in the mood to do this gig, so I don't go. Where is that thing coming from, or where's that inspiration coming from? And so we'll sit down and plan everything, be in the mood, go, and then things don't work, and you're rather disappointed, or your spirit is down. So yes, we should be able to get into the groove of constantly doing things. Although creativity is like, once we have repetition, we get bored, we get tired, but those sparks of inspirations I'm talking about will give you that energy for the next round as you keep doing whatever that you're doing. So every morning I'll say that, okay, every morning I'll sit behind the PC for 2 hours editing from, let's say, 8 to 10. Every morning I'll do that. One day you sit behind it and something unique comes to your mind, you try it, and then boom, you go. You have that energy, that zeal for the next 3 weeks till another thing comes. But then to sit down and have this laxity of, I'm relaxed, I'm chill, and I'll do it when it never helps. It never helps. And I feel that is what has affected most creatives and, their career path and their journey. So it's like, it's not something that is sustainable for them. You understand? And that is where your mom will come and ask you, what if you you understand? You have to do something for them to, say that, oh, okay, this guy or this lady is putting in the effort. They are putting in the work. You are waiting for someone to call you for a job, for a gig, really, So you have to put yourself out there. You need to get in the groove constantly putting in the work, and then, things will take off for you.
Your final word.
Yeah.
Final word.
Yeah.
As I was saying, Leon, let's get consistent with whatever that we are doing. Let's get in the groove. Let's keep doing everything that we really want to do. And there's a need for a plan. There's a need for a plan for you to consistently do whatever that you're doing as a creative. there's no need for being lackadaisical or saying that things will happen on their own. Those doing photography full time are doing it full time. They are putting in all their efforts. They are having the meetings. They are going on sets. They are doing everything that they are supposed to do. It makes growing up or being a young talent even more difficult because the bar is being raised, and then you have to sort of like meet up with it and be able to get on the same pedigree as so it's like that. You have to be able to put in the work consistently, and as time goes on, trust me, you will get those spark of inspirations, and you'll be able to pull something off that will send you to the next level of your career.
It says one thing I've learned from JEMA today is that consistency is key. I'm pretty sure other photographers have also learned so much from this interview session. Alright, so this brings us to the end of episode 3. JEMA, thank you so much for joining us. We had a lovely time. I've learned a lot. Thank you. Once again, this is Reality Check, Star Creators Africa Initiative, produced by 11 Space. You know where to find us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, 11 Space, Star Creators Africa. Also, before I leave, I have to mention that our sponsors, MCV Rentals, they sponsored our production equipment. So yeah, thank you. Shout out to you guys. And yep, it's a wrap. So thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you again on the next episode. Bye.